G'day guys, this is Matt Tate from Fork in the Road, your channel for transformation. Are you struggling with overwhelm? Are you struggling with those negative triggers? This is why I created the How to Handle Your Emotional Triggers workshop, where we went through a really fantastic tool on how to change your emotional triggers. Sounds good, doesn't it? How to control them, how to master them, and get control of your mind and your body and join them back together. Get yourself moving in the right direction. This is why I love studying mindset techniques, because they work if you work them. And so if you're looking for new tools, that's why I do these workshops, and I highly encourage you to come along. They're free. I love sharing them. All information's free on the internet, but it's not organized. And so I love to get it organized so that you can understand why you would approach certain methods of the mind. What was this amazing method, I hear you ask? It was the SWISH pattern. Now, I've done a bit of research on this, and funnily enough, I thought to myself, I want to do some learning. I wanted to improve my NLP skills, which is mindset techniques. And you can check out other videos I've done on what is NLP. I won't cover that here. But it's basically the words we use, the mind, and the patterns that come out. They're a bit of a clue as to what's going on in your unconscious mind. And so that is what I really get excited about, is where you have a win and you fire off a better trigger and you have a better feeling in the body. That's what really fires me up. So the reason why I'm making this video is to just go a little bit deeper on this SWISH pattern from the reading I've done and the research I've done. And the reality was, I started out, I wanted to pick something easy to practice as a sort of a way to get myself practicing on a regular basis. And I found myself deep diving into this SWISH pattern. In my manual with all of the hundreds of techniques, it's only 2 pages, I think. Well, maybe even only 1 page, the SWISH pattern. So I thought, oh, there's an easy one. I'll just practice that one to sort of get myself moving. Next thing I know, I am deep into a book from Steve Andreas, which is called Transforming Yourself. I'm deep into one of the guys on YouTube called Damon Cart, and he's NLP master in every way, shape or form. And what I realized is that the SWISH pattern does, one of the big things that it does is it uses your neurology for your benefit. And what it does, it uses your neurology because our neurology will always gravitate towards our identity, who we think we are. It will always gravitate towards that. And what the SWISH pattern does is it starts to build a new identity. And the funny thing is, you start behaving a little bit differently because your unconscious mind is now on board and on the job to changing who you are, one micro habit at a time. And so if whatever you've done the SWISH pattern on, for example, for me, getting fitter, I am very bad, or used to be very bad at my fitness. I would just wait until my body would, go south on me, and then I would start exercising, then I would start stretching. And I wanted to create a different identity in myself. And so what I created was an image of the SWISH pattern, my ideal self, who's a regular exerciser and does it habitually. I mean, it's duh. I mean, we all know it's logical, but we're not logical beings, we're emotional beings. And so what I needed to do is I needed to connect my trigger, which is the negative trigger, to a better picture of myself. And then your unconscious mind goes to work. Every time there's a choice to eat something awful, you'll look for something better, as opposed to having the burger at McDonald's or the Hungry Jack's or Burger King or whatever it is you have, Kentucky Fried Chicken, whatever it is you have that is not really good for you, but you have it anyway. You'd make a different choice. And so your ideal self has that sorted out. Now, the power of identity and creating a new quality inside your identity, that's what you're doing, is that you then fire that off at the trigger point. So for me, a couple of trigger points. One thing is creating a habit early in the morning to do some stretching. Creating a habit early in the morning to go for a quick jog, even just 10 minutes, makes a big difference to me. Because then I get a little bit stiff and sore, then I make sure I stretch again, and it really does change my physiology. It's not much effort, but the habit wasn't there. But when I've built this swish pattern of my ideal self, an image of me, I always have the image of Don Draper from Mad Men, sitting there looking chilled and relaxed. He's got it sorted. He's sorted all these things out. He's confident. He's exercising just automatically. His body's in good shape. He hasn't got that problem anymore because he's solved it. And so I see myself as an image, looking from outside of myself. And I'm looking at myself, this is a new me. This is the future me. This is my ideal self. It's already inside me, but I'm seeing it as an image. And at the moment, the trigger point for me might be that thought. What comes into my mind? The trigger point might be where I say to myself, don't want to exercise. Whatever happens in that moment, what did you see? What did you hear? What did you feel? What did you think? If you can attach it to those elements, this ideal self, and swish it over the top, when you go through the process of the swish pattern, it is powerful because you start firing off this ideal image of yourself. You're building a future you before it's happened. And of course, that's going to get you to work. And then you'll start building the skill by doing it. You'll actually start learning, well, I'm actually pretty awful at my nutrition. I better eat some better food. I better, do the stretching early in the morning. Go for that quick jog. Do 30 push-ups. Whatever it is for you. But you do start making those better decisions, and you've attached this image, this ideal self, to the trigger. So for example, for me, there's a few triggers which I can attach this generalized ideal identity self to. And so what I do is I look at what happens in the morning when I know I should go for a run. What is the pattern? What do I see? What do I hear? What do I feel? And what do I say to myself? And what can I attach my trigger image to? And so for me, it would be early in the morning. I'm feeling a little bit stiff and sore. I might say to myself, oh, you're a bit stiff and sore. And that might be the thought. There's the vision of me, getting out of bed and really thinking I need to move my body and stretch it. And then after the stretch, getting straight into my clothes, instead of going off and sitting on the couch and watching TV and the morning news, I actually go straight and get my clothes on and I go for that 10-minute run, no matter what, right? So that's the trigger point for me, is those thoughts that come to my head, the feeling of stiffness in my body. And instead of going the lazy route, I can fire off that moment my swish pattern. So I'll create an image of myself. I'll put all those elements into my image of, should I go for a run? That thought always pops in my head. And swish over the top of that using the neurological process of the swish pattern, which I've done a video on and I've done a workshop on. And then that image pops up, and you know what's amazing? It generalizes across so many areas of your life. This will change how you approach your day. It's fantastic, I love it. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because it worked for me, it works for my clients, and my coaching business and mindset business, and it works for anyone who actually applies it. And so if you want to fire off a better image, fire off a better feeling, and then you'll find your actions start to weirdly move towards that, because your brain is wired to fulfill your identity. If you think you're rubbish, it'll fulfill that. If you think you're awesome, it'll fulfill that. If you think you're average, it'll fulfill that. It'll make it automatically happen. Use the power of your unconscious mind and you can change your life. If you change the identity, you can change all your micro actions. My name's Matt Tate. This is Fork in the Road, your channel for transformation. I look forward to seeing you in my next little workshop Zoom session. Check out my links as I go through. I'll put some more videos on this, and I'll make sure I share the next workshops with you. The next one coming up is a questions and answers session, a follow-up session from my SWISH pattern, which was entitled How to Handle Your Emotional Triggers. I look forward to seeing you in that one. If you don't come along, I'll take some recordings, I'll put some new content from that and share that on this channel. See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Click on the link to subscribe to this channel, and I love to give you these videos on a regular basis. This is Matt Tate signing out.